visualizing your dreams is so important. And I would say the moment I discovered TED 5 years ago was the moment I realized that I wanted to attend and be part of it and be a TED Fellow. And because the folks that are represented on that stage are individuals that really dare to change things, and are willing to pour their passion into their ideas and do whatever it takes to bring it about. Case in point, look at Cameron Sinclair, Architect for Humanity. I mean, in many respects, what Cameron, and I love Cameron's. I've watched Cameron's video over and over and over, because, to be honest, truth, I imagine that my presentation will be a lot like his in regards to being nervous and scared and being up on stage the first time. I've had a little bit more performance training than him, since I have a degree in acting and I've performed in front of thousands. But really what Architects for Humanity is doing is really no different than what we're striving to do. And, they want to house the world. I want to educate the world. They're building schools. I want to build the teacher. And give everyone an opportunity to learn. And, and he started his organization on $1,000. I've probably spent close to $5,000 to $10,000 just maintaining websites and everything else. And, well, Ted's put a big dent in that because that's costing me a significant amount of money. But the great news is I'm going now, and I've paid my fees, and thank God it's $1 a week. It meant that I could go for cheaper. It didn't cost me $4,500, but it cost me about $4,000, so I saved about $500. And now that I'm going, my next goal is to try to, is to talk and to actually, be Cameron Sinclair on stage and talking about, can we educate the world? Which I know we can. So I drafted up my first talk, and it's ironic because my talk actually came out of a LinkedIn response and to a question, and the question was about teaching. And I realized that and I started the talk really about Socrates teaches us that we got to define our terms, and one of the terms we're going to have to define is what is a teacher. And in that sense is not this is really a deeper meaning, because technology is becoming the teacher. And the idea of a human person being a teacher, that you need someone in front of a class, is part of a paradigm of the the 20th century, and part of it early 20th. But the reality in the early 21st century is that's changing. And in reality, that is the only thing we need to change in order to bring about e-singularity. So after I wrote that response and reflected on it, I was like, well, this is a good way, a segue into the talk. So today I actually worked on it a little bit more, put it up. I'm going to work on it, and as people nominate me, take them off the list, and see what get all the folks that have been mentors to me and everything else, hopefully nominating me to go. So I know nominations are going in. I don't know how many, but my focus now is to keep requesting, motivating, and bugging people for nominations until I get notice from Ted that, hey, you're invited to talk, which I hope will come. And I'm taking the the point of view as the athlete envisioning that he's going to attend the Olympics, that he is attending. I mean, every great athlete you'll talk to and says, you know, you trained for the Olympics. Did you ever have doubt that you would go to the Olympics? And the answer is no. They always knew. And I know I'm going to talk at TED. And whether it's not 2010, it may be 2011, but I'm going to talk at TED. So it's really up to them whether they choose to have me this year or next year or whatever. But, you know, I'm going to talk at TED. To the condition of the roads.